And I want to circle a little bit back for those who feel, all right, you have really integrated this, but I haven't, like you're having these abilities, you're channeling these beings. For you, it seems very natural. However, did you ever doubt that you were receiving information or knowledge from higher beings because you started forgetting about it? It wasn't that natural anymore when you became an adult. So were there ever a time where you started doubting? And how are you really perceiving this information? How is it coming to you?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I love that you asked me this because, yes, I was so much in denial after closing down, after I saw, because I've had visions of my life and they're unfolded. And I think the last vision I had before everything went dark was when I was around 25. And I was not happy where I was in my life. I was disconnected from my soul. I was disconnected with Zarius. And I remember sitting by the kitchen table and I asked my mother and I said, I see that I'm going to have two girls. I've always seen that since I was a child, always spoken about my two girls that I do have today. And I got my first one at the age of 30, and I was 25 at the time. And I just felt, okay, I don't see anything anymore. I used to have visions of my life. And when this is your normalcy and then everything goes away and it becomes complete darkness, you question. So I started to question, am I going to die? Is this the end? And of course, the human fear in that came forward. And I immediately sensed a presence again, Zarius, but I was not into that whole thing at the time. But I felt like no. I just heard no to the question, am I going to die? No. And I thought, okay, whatever, this is going to go away. But life didn't go away. I mean, life happens to you, right? And if you're not paying attention and you're not seeking the answers within and you're looking at the external world trying to get validation or find your worth and please everybody else, then you're moving off your path. And the thing is, when you're used to having high vibrations and carrying those in your body, it is like kind of like bungee jumping. That's how I like to look at it. The drop is pretty far from the high goods where you feel, wow, I'm so powerful, I'm so loved, I'm divinely guided, I feel the love, I feel the oneness, to bang, you don't feel anything. And there you are. And that's what happened to me. So from the external world, I started to question, like, has everything been a mistake? Am I weird? Am I really crazy? What is going on? And I remember I had to surrender. I was lying in bed. I had just gotten my second child. She was very young. We just bought a house, and my husband just got a new job. Everything looked very great, beautiful, perfect family on the outside world. And I was completely in the shadow. I was so dark in the valley, you have no idea. And I was lying in bed, not having energy to move around, questioning whether I should live or not. And people ask me, did you have the baby blues? And I go, no, this was not. I love my daughter. I had nothing. My kids were the one who gave me energy, but you can't feed on other people's energy. And I knew that. I could not be in my present the way I felt with my children. So I would call them grandparents. I didn't want to affect them because I knew it would affect them. And so I was lying in bed and I just said, well, if this is the end, then I think I don't want this anymore. Let me die. I'm ready. And so I fell asleep crying. And a couple of hours later, I woke up and something has shifted in me, something different. And I go, I'm lighter. Something happened as I surrendered. And I heard my soul again. I almost get teary eyed every time I talk about it. I've told this story so many times, but it still gets me. And I just heard the most beautiful voice, which I call Sacred White Feather. And she said to me, which is my soul, one step at a time. one step at a time. And I just heard that beautiful voice. And it was said with such love, unconditional love that I'd never heard before. And it came from me. And so that kind of, that doubt I think that I had changed. But that's when I said, okay, I need to figure out if it's really true that I connect with Zarius. And so what did I do? I've always kind of been the one who goes out on a limb. I don't know why. I just have to, because there's no questions then. So I decided there was this TV show in Norway called The Sixth Sense, Jakten på den sjette sans. And so I decided to apply for the show to see if I could get on the show, to test my abilities, to see if did I really perceive what I was perceiving, or am I just crazy? Do I really? Because I did not take any courses. I didn't read any books. I did nothing of that. So I had no training whatsoever. It was just me being me. And I said, okay, so if I can be me and I can get on the show by just using my abilities, then I will accept you, Zarius, as my spiritual guide, and I promise to start co-creating with you. That's my promise to you. But then you have to promise me, this is the ego, of course, but I said, I needed it. I said, then you have to promise me to get me on the show. That's the only way I'm going to say yes to this co-creation part. And of course, I got on the show. And so I was like, okay, I can't doubt anymore. But then he did tell me one thing. I want to share that as well. When we got to the point when he said I was going to start channeling, I was like, no, I draw the line. No, because first of all, I didn't know a lot about channeling, but I've heard about it. And so I started to Google, of course, which made me even more skeptical because I was still not integrated within my own powers again. And I was like, and I still read energy. So I still know where people and the messages are coming from when they're coming forward. So not everything resonated with me. And I went, ooh, I don't want to be labeled and put in that category. So I felt kind of bad feeling that, but I said, I'm not ready to embracing that. So
kind of like, yeah, I don't want to be that lady.
Correct. You are so right. And now I'm that lady.
That's why I said you were brave in the beginning.
Yeah. So I'm that lady, yes. But I did, he told me when I started to channel, that's when I started, he said, please do not read any books on spirituality because you will question whether the teachings coming through us, that you've read it in a book and you will start questioning yourself. No good. So you have to promise not to read any books. Everything comes from us. And we will let you know when the time is ready for you to start diving in and learning more.
To watch the full video, click the link below, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel.